Hi everybody, welcome back this week.
Because there's a little delay today.
I was trying to look to see whether I'd gone live or not. Technical issues, blame it on those. Welcome back this week. We are going to be burning this little puppy dog's ear. And I think we're just going to get straight to it, really.
Would help if I've been on the right camera, wouldn't it?
Yeah, would have done. You might as well go back to the other camera now. Technical issues from the technical chap.
Messed up. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so what I've got here is the puppy dog, and I've just still got the still using the spoon shader. I do use that quite a lot because it's a versatile tip. Now you are welcome to burn along if you wish. If you don't wish, that's still absolutely fine.
If you've got any questions, don't forget to prefix them with a Q or even a couple of Qs so I can see them in the chat.
Yeah, just giving this tip a bit of a clean off. Just got a piece of leather and a piece of white polishing compound. So that'll be good for us today. So we are going to be doing the ear along this side here and some of the fur. The moment. So let me just get this camera to go in. Okay, we need to move over there and up slightly. Trusty white tack. Just there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go on this inner side and we're going to go down the inner side because that is the darkest part first. What we're going to do is just lay down some of the initial burn. I'm going to set this to about a 4.5. So I've got the Peter Charles machine and I'm setting it to about a 4.5. We're just going to go on the inside, which is the darkest part. This wire is like really tangled today. Just going in the darkest part. We're going to start from the top and work our way down. And we're just going to go in the direction of the fur as usual.
So might as well see who's out there, shan't we?
Yeah.
We have Rob from Copperhouse Woodturning.
Hi.
We have Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft.
Hi Wayne. Hi Val.
No doubt the lovely Valerie's in attendance as well. We have Jacob from Jacked Up Leatherworks.
Hi Jacob.
We have Clint at Wood Dancers.
Hi Clint.
And that's the only people chatting at the moment.
Oh, well, if you are out there, come and give us a shout. Say hi. We can give you a shout out. With this ear, we're just doing the darkest parts first. It looks a little bit rough at the moment. Actually, is that a little bit too far? There, pull it down just a little bit.
We'll get organised.
Yeah, get in there. So, yeah, I think that's about right. So, just laying down some like initial burn. So, I'm not actually doing the fur details yet. That doesn't come until later on. Just using the, I want to say the flat part of the spoon shader, but there's not really a flat part. It's more the bowl, the underneath section of the spoon shader, just to bring some value to the inside of that ear where it would be darker. Just sticking with the direction of the fur because that's the way that we want, that we want things to go. And yeah, just adding some dark value in there because the dark, what makes things look realistic is the dark and the light values. But it also, you need all the bits in between as well. So we go dark, light, and then you've got the mids and all sorts of other different tones in there. So we're just pulling this down still in the direction. Now what we've got here, just on this section here, I don't know what, can you see it on there? Yeah, you can. So you can see there's a really sort of like, there's a lighter section here, and then there's a darker section, and then another dark section either side of that. So I'm just going to make sure that I don't burn that with this at the moment, because I'm on a 4.5, and I don't want that section to be burnt so darkly. So I'm going to just bring that down here.
I haven't put the little reference picture up.
Oh, you haven't?
No. There we go. Slacking today.
So I'm just going to go along that front edge of that ear.
And Lucy Bundy Rose joined us. Afternoon, Lucy.
Hi, Lucy. Just adding in some extra just up there, just not quite dark enough. So I'm just going to darken that down just a little bit more. There we go. So I'm going to come back down to this bit here. And I'm only doing short strokes across the wood, obviously in the fur direction of the fur. The reason why I'm doing the short strokes on the wood, and they're very, very light as well, is because the fur of the dog she's a short hair. So what you don't want is, if you're doing a short-haired dog, to do like really long wiry bits like you would if you had a terrier or, you know, a Scotty dog or something like that, because you would make the fur it would just look weird, if that makes sense.
I'm not sure whether that's a compliment or not. Lucy says she's having a welcome break from sorting her odd sock basket.
My mom used to have, I think she still does actually, an odd sock carrier bag. So she has an odd sock carrier bag, and yeah, I don't think she ever sorted it.
No, it's permanently full.
It was when we were growing up, it's a case of, you wanted socks out of it, go find your own. Hey Lucy, it's a good game with the kids, you know. Get them to make pairs with the socks. That's if they'll do it. Mine used to.
Wayne says all of his socks look odd. I think that's you've done that wrong. It's just all of your socks look big.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got this section here that I'm keeping the lighter colour. I'm going to go down this section here, which is darker, just short strokes. Down to there. There we go. I think we need to darken them down a little bit, don't we? So what's everybody been doing this week?
Oh, Lucy says the divorce rate among the socks in this house is amazing.
Just let them wear odd socks.
All the orphaned little socks.
Yeah, just let them wear odd socks. A sock's a sock at the end of the day. I don't think any of ours wear a pair of socks, do they?
It's only because I can't be bothered to put them away.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Well, she says she's been trying to get them to help, but all they want to do is sit in the laundry basket to be buried by the socks.
That's about right. Right, I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. I'm going to turn it down to about a 4.
And Huey Lionart's joined us.
Hi, Huey.
Keep it classy, Huey.
I'm just going to get some of the fur on this face. Now, I'm not going in with a straight line. I'm still going in with fur direction, because if you go in with a straight line, you will end up with a straight line, and it doesn't look real, because obviously fur is not in a straight line.
And Jacob at Jacked Up Leatherworks says, it's funny, I have the patience to do leather, but didn't have it for wood burning.
Really? Have you tried burning on your leather as well? It'd be interesting. Well, though it stinks. It really does stink. Back at the top here, we're just a little bit lighter now.
Yeah, Lucy says she's got loads closer to the charity shop to do too. Don't think they accept odd socks. And Jacob says, yeah, the smell was too much.
Yeah, the smell is absolutely awful. It really is. So just going in. I'm actually going to turn that down just a little bit more. So I'm going to go down to a 3 now, because what I'm going to do is bring it in just on this part of the head. You can see just up there, it's a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to go in a little bit lighter on number 3, and just direction of the fur. May not look like it's putting much down, but it is. And we're just keeping in with the fur. Say the short, sketchy motion, just to bring that bit in. Because if you look at the photo, you can see all these wispy strands just here, and this is what we're aiming for. I know we've put the darker in first, but I'll show you how to get those lighter bits shortly. This is a very light dog. Well, she's not completely light. It's just that the way that the photo is makes her look even lighter than she actually is.
Wayne says one-legged folk need socks too.
Yeah.
Lucy's off to a fireworks display in a bit at one of the local pubs.
Nice.
Hope it's dry for you, Lucy.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've done firework displays, hasn't it? Even sort of been to one.
Yeah, don't need to.
No, there's across the field from us. There's normally a fireworks display and a bonfire, and our kids don't actually like fireworks, so they've always stood at the top of the stairs and watched the fireworks through the stairs window, because it's just in the field next door. So they're quite happy with that. Just laying down some of this fur. Now, it doesn't look like it's doing much, but it doesn't need to, because the fur is so light on that section. There. Just going to keep it going down this section here. It's actually strange to try and capture a light animal on light wood. Well, not strange, but it sometimes can be a little tricky. You just have to keep it nice and light, and if you're not sure, go lighter. because it's just, you can take it away. You can always add a little bit in the darker sections. There we go.
Wayne says he was hoping to make the shuttering for the concrete for his new workshop,
Yeah.
but don't want to hurt his back. Otherwise, he's going to miss Harrogate.
Oh, yeah. Don't want to miss Harrogate. Don't want to do that. Anybody else going to Harrogate this year?
Oh, we know Lucy is.
Yes, Lucy is going.
Jacob says he has a buddy who lost his leg in Iraq. Now he tells everybody he gets 2 for 1 when he buys socks.
That is a great way of looking at it, isn't it? I like that. That is a great attitude.
And Andrew from AGK Woodworks has joined us.
Hi, Andrew. Are you going to Harrogate, Andrew?
Lucy wants to know where we're staying.
Where we're staying? I have no idea. I have no idea. I haven't had the email through from Turner's yet, so David will get round to it at some point.
We know there's a hotel booked somewhere.
Yeah, it's like hotel roulette, isn't it? Yeah. So.
And Jamie Page, JP Woodworks, joined us.
Hey, Jamie Pie. Yeah, so it's like hotel roulette. I'm not quite sure where I'm staying at the moment. I'll stay somewhere there.
And I'll find out on Saturday.
This was a lighter section because I've got this on the number 3 now. I don't want this to be white, like wood white. So I'm going to just dull it off a little bit. There we go. Yep, and then we've got a lighter section that goes. We've got a lighter section that comes up the bit of the ear where it's, because this bit's the underside of the ear and this bit's the top. So we've got a lighter section that meets that in the middle. So we're going to try and avoid that bit and go up the side. There's a furry bit there. Well, there's a furry bit everywhere. It's a furry dog. Bit of a silly thing to say, really, but you know. There we go.
Wayne says, where we're staying for Harrogate is a bit of a dump. Well, that's my fault. I don't like housework.
They don't need to stay anywhere.
I wouldn't call your house a dump, mate.
No. Bringing this down here to this section to meet this bit at the bottom here. Are you staying over, Lucy, or are you doing it all in a turnaround again? So just move that out. Wait a minute. Just changing the angle of my hand just a little bit, just so I can pull these hairy bits here down in the right direction. Normally, I would move my wood all the way around, but obviously for viewing purposes, it's going to look weird. So trying to
disorientate people looking
yeah,
upside down.
it would, wouldn't it? So just trying to keep things in proportion.
Andrew says he can't wait.
Yes, it's going to be a good show. I think it's going to be bigger than last year. Would you reckon?
Yeah.
Last year was good because it was the first one they'd had for a long while, but yeah, I think this year is going to be even bigger. Is Debbie coming with you, Andrew?
Somebody's got to keep him in control, otherwise he'll spend too much.
I haven't actually seen the have you seen the layout of the hall yet?
No.
You're not?
Nope.
I did look on the website, but it wasn't there. But that was a few weeks ago. I didn't know whether they'd released it or whether they'd just...
No, not seen yet.
What they've done. So no, I haven't seen it either. So just doing these furry bits in the same direction. This bit here is just that little bit darker where the ear folds. So we're just running with it. Running with the direction and the darkness. Probably needs darkening down just a little bit more.
Wayne says he's glad he's going to be a bigger sheriff because he's put a bit of weight on since last year.
Oh dear me, Wayne.
You've got very quiet on us today.
Yeah, sorry. It's kind of just direction of the fur, really, and because it's fur rather than, and it's the same thing. Like with the eyes, you could sort of see, the sort of like the darkness and the light and everything else. And then the same with the nose, you can see all the dark patches. The ears perhaps a little bit boring because you've just got the direction. It's yeah.
Andrew says yes, she's coming too. She may need somewhere to lean, lol.
Okay.
I've told her to take a fold-up chair.
I'll have a chair next to me if she wants one. More than welcome to come keep me company.
And he hasn't really told her to take the chair so she can sit down. He says that he can see the displays.
Yum.
Sorry, Andrew. Couldn't resist it.
Andrew, bite his ankles next time you see him. Not everybody has to be a beanpole, you know. For anybody's reference that don't know Phil, he's 6'5". So he is definitely the beanpole. So just filling in these dark sections, really. The reason why I keep this on a low temperature and going over and over is because you can control the values better or easier. It's easy to go scooting right the way over it and burn it darker than you mean to. If you go in dark, really dark straight away.
You build it up gradually rather than...
Yeah, it's just in layers. It's just building up the layers. Just doing a little bit of circular motion over the top of this fur at the minute, just to fill in some of the gaps. When you obviously do fur direction, you're doing lines. And I just wanted to fill in some of the gaps. I know that kind of like counterintuitive as such, but it's not. When you're laying your layers down, it's kind of like I've got is a little bit of texture underneath that top layer. So I've put the lines in for texture, and now I'm just going lightly over the top, just in a circular motion, just to fill in a little bit of the texture, just so the ear doesn't look too fluffy. Because if you put too much detail, too much texture in straight away, it tends to just look really, really fluffy. Whereas this way, when you fill in the gaps a little bit, it doesn't look it looks like it's supposed to, or as fluffy as it's supposed to. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Well, the ears are fluffy. They're just not sort of like...
They're flatter than the rest of the coat.
Yeah. They're they're not sort of like sticking up everywhere. Whereas if you just go in straight in with just details, you've got no layers to like kind of look at. Whereas fur has got lots and lots and lots of layers. So you do the fur first, the lines of the fur, then the circular or scrumbling motion over the top to fill in some of the bits of the wood that didn't get burnt in the first place, just with slightly lighter. And then when you finish at the end, well, towards the end, I'll start doing lines of fur again, because then that's adding the top layer of detail. So then it looks like you basically like 3 layers of fur, which is what animals have.
Yeah. Wayne says the spoon shader is a nightmare for Valerie with her bad hands.
Yeah.
It takes her hours to eat cornflakes.
Oh. Whack him, Valerie. Whack him. He's such a meanie.
And Huey says he's ate some Toblerone, so I think he's following up on Wayne's. He's bigger this year.
Pardon?
Wayne was saying it's a good job it's a bigger show because he's bigger this year.
Oh, okay.
And Huey says
Right.
he's ate some Toblerone. You're slow today.
I am, yeah. I'm concentrating. You ever tried explaining things and your thought process while you're concentrating?
Yeah. Try harder.
You might get whacked in a minute. So again, just doing the light scrubbling motion, which is the circulars motion over the top of the fur detail. Just to fill in the values a little bit more.
Kez is in the zone.
Why? Who says that?
Huey.
Oh, thanks.
And Andrew says, get him, Kez.
Who said that? Andrew. Yeah, I think I might. Yeah. So what we've got here, where's my pencil gone? I've lost it. Here's this one. So what we've got up here is this section that we're just about to go in. So we're going to leave the light, the really, really sort of white light section. We're going to do this part here, but it's kind of, it has actually got a line, even though it's fur. So I'm going to just do that section next. And all I'm going to do is the circular motion, just to bring it up, because I can control it. Bringing it up to the line. There we go. And then we'll add some details over the top of that shortly. There we go. So that's just enabled us to have that line there. I think actually perhaps it might need to go just that little bit darker. So I'm just going to go over again so we can go a little bit darker. Because we put the fur details in early, we've still got like the jaggedy lines from the fur, which is what we want. There we go, just going a little bit darker. Just makes a difference when you're just that little bit darker. Move that over there. A lot of people are kind of like afraid to burn dark. Don't be afraid to burn dark. When you look at something, if it's dark, burn it dark. What's the worst that can happen?
You have to send a bit off.
Yeah, that is literally just the worst that can happen. I have done that a few times. I've done that a fair few times. Either sanding it or card scraping it. Right, I'm just going to turn this up to a 3.5, so just a little bit darker, or a little bit hotter, to go a little bit darker. Still doing the circular motions just down this section, because it is quite dark on the inside of that ear where the ear meets the side of the head. So just bringing that down. And it is actually quite dark in there, so just going a little bit slow with the circular motion, because the slower you go, the darker it burns. But because I've still got the temperature on a cooler setting, I've still got good control over it.
That makes sense.
Well, I'm glad it did to you. Yeah, it's just going slow. So it's just that little bit darker, but yeah. I don't want to add straight lines in, because straight lines on realism is not realistic.
They're straight lines in nature.
Well, how many straight lines have you got on your face? There isn't any, is there?
None unless you scar me later.
Well, I might do. Depends how cheeky you get. Yeah, so just going over this darker section still. But you can see the depth. Well, hopefully you can see the depth. Actually, on there, it's not on the screen. It's not so. I can see it on here, but on there, it's not so clear. You can start seeing. Well, I can start seeing the depth behind the ear. So just adding that there. We've got just a section here. So I'm going to go back to sort of the first stroke motion. That way, I think. Going from the dark side up, just because that's the way the picture is. You never get the pictures 100% perfect. But you can get close to. Absolutely, definitely close to. Yeah, bringing that up. And you can see it's starting to get that. So it was giving too much of a straight line, so I wanted that firm motion.
Yeah, Wayne says he gets in a tad chilly now. Even Alexa's asked him to put the heating on.
I must admit, we're sat in the workshop and the heaters broke. So yeah, we're definitely a tad chilly this week.
Yeah, new pump required.
Yeah. I nearly brought me a water bottle. Sorry, grabbing a drink. Well, cold coffee. Ugh. So just bringing lines down of the fur, the inside of that ear there. So fur lines, same direction as the fur. Now, when you're doing animals, you have to constantly don't rely on your picture here. On your reference, always keep going back to your photo rather than keeping with your line drawing, because your line drawing isn't always true, especially if you like me, just scribble it down really quickly. You just kind of like, you get that bit out of the way. Always keep looking back at your reference photo, because it could be bits that you miss, or bit extra lines that you've put in that you kind of didn't realize. So just going with the direction of the fur, and always look for the fur, because the fur on animals changes direction in so many times. So I mean, this fur comes down here, but then it goes over there, and then there's a bit that comes, that it's kind of, fur is just everywhere. So just darting that down there a little bit. So I've still got this on a number 4. I'm just going to bring down the inside of that ear. I'm sorry, my iPad is buzzing, but I have no idea how to turn the sound off. Just going to come down the inside of that ear, just to darken it just a little bit, just because it's obviously in a little bit more of a shadow. Down there, I'm just using fur lines rather than the circular motion, because we've already done the circular motion as the second. There's like a second layer, I suppose. I'm just going to come down this front side. Well, it's not the front of the ear, it's still the back of the ear, or the inside of the ear. I'm just going to come down this side as well, just so this section, which is the top side of the ear, is a little bit more prominent.
You've got that light band all the way down, haven't you?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's just making it a little bit more prominent, so it looks on the wood as it does on the photo, or as close to. So just darkening that there, because it is quite dark on the inside of there. Still fur direction. Because she's a Labrador and sort of short hair, the fur is pretty much the same all over. Whereas if you get something like a wiry dog, a terrier or something like that, you've got fur in all sorts of different directions. They look like they've just got out of bed, don't they? Crazy hair on a dog.
That's where you get it from.
Thanks. What are you trying to say? Dear me. So just bringing that down. All right, I think what we're going to do is go to the other side. So we'll go to the top side of the ear in a minute. So we're going to go over, move on to this section. No, I'll just stretch my arm. There we go. So we're going to go and fill in a little bit more on here. Make this look like an ear, I think. So just the scrubbly motion again. Just going up and back down. Just to add a little bit on there. The dog is very light and on a green background, but because we've got a light dog on a light background, just add in just a single layer up to the outside of the ear, just so it obviously looks like there's something there. And what we can do with this background here is burn it really dark. So then she stands off. It just kind of like stands out of the portrait then. And there are many ways to burn a background. You can burn it with these little teeny tiny tips. I find that using I have a small Dremel blowtorch, and that does really well. I use a painter's knife, which is a little knife, and you just place it down and burn so it doesn't burn over the picture, and then just fill in the gap between the dog and where the painter's knife was, because you can't burn right up to the picture. It's really quick and easy to do it that way. Get this done up here. That one up there. So what I'm going to do is move the iPad actually over there, because I want my hand in the right position. So what I'm going to do is just along this section here, there are lots of little fur lines, so I'm just going to add some of those in, and it is just little tiny straight lines for fur.
Just sort your camera because it's focusing on your fingers.
It's done now, is it? Is it? Yeah, it's focused on the dog now. So just there, add in the brush stroke. Not brush strokes. I'm not painting. It's like brush strokes, though, isn't it? I did the first.
Focus.
I know.
Squirrel.
I know. So just bringing those bits down there like that. And then the section over here that's done the same. But because we've done fur, we've added texture, and then we've done the circular motions to fill in the layer. And now we're doing more fur. You've got, like, say you've got 3 layers of fur, basically, without it looking too fluffy. This section just down there as well. Look. It's just a little bit lighter than the rest. That down there. never looks like I've done. I've burnt enough. When you do like dogs, it always seems like you need to burn more, but you really don't.
Yeah, it's getting the contrast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting the contrast and the values right. Fireworks going off now. Bringing that down a little bit more, because that's still a little bit too light, I think. So I'm just going to add a little bit more to that. Sometimes when you look at something and you've been looking at it, you're working on it, going off to a different section and then coming back again, you can kind of see, especially when something doesn't quite look right.
Lucy says she'll catch the rest later, guys. Time for pub and fireworks.
Okay, enjoy yourself, Lucy. Enjoy. So just darkening this bit down a bit, because I think it just needs it, doesn't it? So there you go. So that is quite happy with that now. Wasn't happy with it before, so just darken it down a little bit, and I'm happy with it now. So in here, so again, just darkening that a little bit down as well. I just think that's quite a bit darker. So just gonna go in there. The cows aren't mooing outside this week.
No, they've moved fields.
Yeah, last week the cows were mooing outside.
Just the odd random firework now.
Yeah. Which is actually quite unusual, because we don't get a lot of fireworks, do we?
Not up here.
We're a bit solitary where we are in regards to houses. We don't generally get a lot of fireworks. So it's quite odd. The only time we get them is from off the back, isn't it? Just like last night, we had the fireworks and whatnot. But it feels like about half a dozen, and then they're done. So what I'm going to do is go up here, and we're just going to do the circular meshes. Actually, I'm just going to turn this off a second and give this another quick clean. Feels like it's dragging a little bit tonight. I'm just going to give that a bit of a clean on there. There we go. Right. Turn that back on again. I am still at a 4. Actually, I'm going to go down to a 3.5, because I'm just going to go do this section here, and this section is quite light. So just here is just a little bit darker. Doing the fur motions because it's bare wood first.
So you put your in the direction of the fur down first, then your scrumbling motion, then go back and do your fur again.
Exactly.
So even I understood that.
I'm glad you did. And so fur motion. Same with here. We're just going to go right up to the end with the fur. It's ever so light. Can you see it? Is it picking it up, the camera?
Just, yeah.
Let me just move that down a little bit. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, so all I'm doing is this bit here. So it's only ever so light. So I'm only just touching the wood. It's very, very light pressure. You don't need a lot of pressure with a wood burner. It doesn't matter which one that you've got. You do not need a lot of pressure. You're aiming to burn the surface of the wood rather than into the wood. If that makes sense. You don't want a hole in there. So doing short, quick fur motion. Well, it's not fur motion, is it really? It's hard to explain. I'm doing
Short strokes.
short fur strokes. That's the one. That's the one. Thank you for your help.
Someone's got to decipher you.
Yeah. Words just fail me sometimes. Come on. Yeah, so just doing short fur strokes. Just as I said before, it's a short haired dog. What I'm going to do is thin this down a little bit, because that white line that goes down the ear there is actually quite thin, isn't it? So we can thin this down a little bit. Actually, I'm going to turn that down to a 3. And I'm going to go in the scrumbly motion. So we're going to go back over where we've just been.
Now it's cooled down a little.
Yeah, now it's cooled. Yeah, these machines take around 5 seconds to cool down. And once I've turned the heat down, before I place it onto the wood, I always blow the tip. Anyway, it's automatic. So it makes it cool down even faster. So just a the scrumbly motion over where we've just been, just to fill in any gaps with the second layer of burn. Just fills them in so it's not quite so white. And then we're going to come down the side of the ear in a second. Right, now we're going to come down the side of here just to make that line just a little bit narrow, because it's just a little bit thick, isn't it? And actually, I think it's over here as well. So there we go, that there. How's that looking on there?
Yeah.
So bring that in there. Go that side too. How's that looking on there? That's looking better on there, isn't it? Much better. That's what we like. This line didn't quite go to plan to start with, but it's okay. Just snuck up on it and sorted it out. So now I think that looks a lot better. Yeah. So I'm just going to do a little bit more scrumbling over here. Now we've still got some marks at the top here from I used carbon paper and pencil. So we've still got a few of those, but don't worry about those. I'll show you how to get rid of those towards the end.
Towards the end of the piece or towards the end of this show?
I could do. What time have we got?
You've got 5 minutes left.
It'll be towards the end of the piece then. It's a really, really, really simple trick. you just want a sharp knife or like standing knife blade or something like that, and it just scratches it. You can scratch it away, but only ever so gently. So get some more of this furry bit in here. Just like that. Just going with the direction of the fur again. That way. What this eyebrow, what we can do is actually join these bits up here a lot. So the lid kind of goes up and over. So just out to the side there. It's sorry, it was a message from our eldest. He wants to know if you want to pick Alex up or if we want to drop him off.
Okay, I'll sort that in a minute.
Yeah. Kids. Forever sort them out, even when they move out. So fur motion, line direction. In the direction, lines in the direction of the fur is what that was supposed to say. That's what concentration does to you. It muddles your words. That's it. So now you can see that this eye is now joined up to the side of the head. It's not kind of floating on wood anymore. We've got some fur in there. Here we go. And over the top of the eye, you can see it is just slightly darker in, like, it's from about up here, I think it's slightly darker, isn't it? So we can add that bit in.
Over the top of the eyebrow.
Yeah, that bit is, yeah. You want to call it an eyebrow, don't you? But it's like you're not quite sure whether it is an eyebrow? A dog's eyebrow. As Huey got a funny word. It was dog chops last week, wasn't it, for him?
Yeah, we've gone away from the chops. We're now on the tabs.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's an eyebrow.
Oh, all right.
So yeah, just going over that section there, because that section is just a little bit darker. So just gonna darken that bit down a bit over the eyebrow. We'll call it an eyebrow. So I'm just going to do the scrumbling motion now, just to fill in some of that gap. Do some down here as well, with the side of the doggy's head. There we go. I think.
Jacob says that is looking beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. He's definitely starting to get there. Definitely starting to get there.
And you just run out of time for today.
Yes, we have. We have. So we're just at time now.
You want to zoom that camera out a bit?
Yeah, I'm just going to. I'll just turn this machine off. So, oh, wrong way. That way there. So that is what we are looking like now. So it's just getting got the lighter fur in that side, and we've joined the eye up with the fur down here. What we will need to do is come back and add some of the lighter hairs on this section here. But yeah, apart from that, we're just going to be filling in. We are not here next week because we're at Harrogate Show, but we will be back the week after. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time.
See you, everybody.